Note, questions will be addressed through the chat box. And when communicating through the chat box, please be appropriate and respectful. If students are found not to be appropriate and respectful, they can be kicked out of the session. And we really don't want that to happen. Great. One last note, please do fill in the survey following this session so we can get that feedback and improve the sessions for next year. I think that's it with the housekeeping. Amy, you can start recording.
All right, I'm going to kick this session off. My name is Deborah Jonason-Young. I am the director of the Stu Clark Centre for Entrepreneurship at the University of Manitoba. We're here today to tell you a little bit about what we do at the center, about finding your spark, and as Jackie indicated at the beginning, the fact of entrepreneurship can be a career choice too. As a matter of fact, as you go through your university years, you may find that you have an idea that you want to bring to the table fairly quickly, or you may wake up 6 years after starting your first job and say, wow, I really want to get into my own stuff. So if you take away nothing from this today, understand a few things. Number one is the Stu Clark Centre is here for you no matter where you are in your entrepreneurial journey. And if you wake up 6 years from now and you say, I want to start my own business, remember us and just remember what we talked about here today. So we've already talked a little bit about Zoom etiquette, but as Jackie indicated, please use the chat box to ask your questions. One of our team will be bringing forth those questions at the end of the presentation. And please keep your microphones muted throughout the presentation. All right. So this is our team. I've already indicated my name is Deborah Jonason-Young. Amy, over to you.
Hi, my name's Amy Jones, and I'm the program coordinator at the Stu Clark Centre for Entrepreneurship.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Friesen, and I'm the office administrator for the Stu Clark Centre.
Hi, I'm Josh Zapperzan, and I'm the venture coach at the Stu Clark Centre.
All right. So the Stu Clark Centre is a university-wide center for entrepreneurship. We do a number of different things, but basically we're here to try and get you excited about the concept of entrepreneurship, because there's a couple things that happen here. You might think of entrepreneurship as starting your own company or organizing your own company, but truly the entrepreneurial mindset and skill sets that you develop during your entrepreneurial journey are skill sets that every organization needs right now as you go forward in your career. So we talk about innovation and creativity and the ability to take initiative. And these are recurring themes in entrepreneurship that you definitely need if you're starting your own company. But they are themes and skills that will serve you incredibly well as you go into your respective careers after you graduate from university. We kind of have 5 pillars that we do activities under. So the first one is we partner with the academics in terms of education and helping them to create some excitement around some of that education, the experiential part, bringing the community to there to make it more fun as you learn about entrepreneurship. We drive entrepreneurial awareness through a variety of competitions. You're going to hear about a lot of this stuff in greater detail as we go through the presentation, but the entrepreneurial awareness and the competitions are where you really get to have some fun. And as Amy's going to tell you, there's some nice dollars attached to some of these competitions also. Then we do a number of activities to try and create engagement and try and get students working with one another from across faculties. And we do that through a variety of different things, like some of you may have already seen some of our contests this summer, where we've invited students to tell us about how they're going to learn from home, what are their favorite organizations and restaurants and everything. So we do a number of things to try and create excitement, from contests to webinars to a variety of different things. You're going to meet Josh a little later, and Josh's main role with the Stu Clark Centre is as venture coach. This is at no cost to you. If you say, wow, I think I have an idea that might be interesting, that I might want to create a business from, even if you have no idea what to do with it, that's when you go in and you sign up to meet up with Josh, because he's got these magical tools and magical coaching abilities that will help you work through that whole process, and it's at no cost. And we'll talk a little bit about the community, the larger entrepreneurial ecosystem that's available for you, because if we can't help you at the Stu Clark Centre, we know who can, and we'll be there to help you find those partners that can help you a little bit better. So that's kind of a little bit about what we do at the Stu Clark Centre. And we have a video.
Let's talk about entrepreneurship. It's the light bulb moment from your first big idea. It's the decision to set out on a new path. It's the realization that entrepreneurship starts with a spark, and that spark starts here. At the Stu Clark Centre, we're here to nurture your ideas and help spark your entrepreneurial spirit. How? How about competitive opportunities to free your inner entrepreneur? Advice from venture coaches who have walked the walk, or some of the best networking events you'll find on campus. You'll find it all right here. By focusing on education, awareness, community, coaching, and connection, we build strong relationships with our students and do everything we can to help them on their journey to self-starting. At the Stu Clark Centre, we thrive when you thrive. No idea is too big or too small. The Stu Clark Centre is your one-stop shop for everything you need to start your journey. So why not start today?
All right, so you'll notice, I want to make a couple of comments here. You'll notice that we are housed out of the Asper School of Business, but I know today that we're talking to a number of students from a variety of different faculties. And I just want to tell you something magical, and that is that most of the greatest ideas that come forward don't come from business students. They come from science, they come from engineering, they come from rec studies, they come from medicine, they come from all agriculture. And so when we look at it, the great ideas are coming from other faculties, from people with other great knowledge. Where it comes together in this magical combination is that the business students are the ones who bring some of the skill sets together to bring it forward as a business idea. And you need each other. The business students need the great ideas that are coming from other faculties. And the other faculties need the knowledge of marketing and accounting and supply chain and everything that the Asper students bring to the table. So we often look at it as this creation of a team that works together and brings their unique skill sets together. Want to talk to you a little bit about a couple of our educational opportunities. So within Asper, if you're going to graduate with your commerce degree right now, you actually must now take an intro to entrepreneurship course, because Asper faculty just believes that you need these skill sets going forward. So we have this course that takes you through the concept of everything from idea generation through to how do you know if what you're selling or what you have somebody actually wants to buy, all the way through to building a bit of a business plan. You do a pitch competition here, and we actually have a lot of fun. There's about 300 to 400 students. This year we'll be doing it virtually, but you get to pitch your idea in front of judges, and you're going to see a little video coming up in a minute. Now, coupled with the mandatory program out of Asper is one that you can take if you're interested, and it is ENTR 2020, starting a new business, and it actually parallels that other Asper course. And during that point in time where you're getting together to do your live pitch competitions, we actually pair you up across faculties. So you're getting exposed to a variety of different students in a variety of different places, and you get this chance to develop your concepts with them. It's a lot of fun. We encourage you to sign up for this particular course because we know that it will serve you well during the course of your career. Amy, do we have that video? Is it now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more video for you.
Just loading.
By the way, we also have a major in entrepreneurship and a concentration in the master's program at Asper as it relates to entrepreneurship. So let's take a look at what a pitch competition looks like.
This entrepreneurship pitch competition is a great opportunity for students to get an experience of the real world of pitching a business idea. You pick a problem and then you build a solution around it with your team, and then you come here for the finals to pitch it to a panel of judges.
This was a pretty tough process, but after lots of brainstorming, we came up with a neat idea to pitch, which was really fun, just gaining real-life experience as an entrepreneur.
I think the best advice I could give to someone preparing for a pitch competition is to practice your pitch and have it down, but also practice for questions that you anticipate coming from the judges. I think that's one of the things people overlook is they practice their pitch so much and they get it so perfect, but they're not ready for the questions. So write down all the potential things that you think could come from a judge and be just as polished on those answers as well.
My favorite part of the competition was having the opportunity to network with other students and faculty and people in the entrepreneurship community.
One of the coolest takeaways that I think the students are going to get from this course is they're going to be put in high pressure situations like doing a pitch to a panel of judges. That's going to teach you some valuable lessons that you can move on and use in your careers and anything in life. Negotiations, interviews, pitches to investors to raise capital. This pitch competition will give you a valuable skill set that you can use throughout the rest of your career.
We've already talked about partners, the rest of partners in education. So Amy, I think we're moving on to you now.
For sure. So I'm here to talk to you about some really fun opportunities. Oh.
Amy's going to be pulling up the screen that talks to the competitions that we do. And I think you're going to find that interesting, whether you're, it doesn't matter where you are within the university, you're going to be able to partake and take advantage of these competitions. So we're almost there.
Yeah, it's just It has crashed, but it's coming back up. So we're just gonna have to find the spot.
Our apologies.
Make you guys wait to see what kind of prize money we give away. Almost there.
Deborah, in the meantime, we have a question. Someone asked, can they take ENTR 2030 if they're from science?
So the parallel course is ENTR 2020. It is the identical course to 2030. And that's where you would come in, whether you're from science or engineering or any other faculty. And we have had, by the way, there's upwards of 120 students every semester taking that particular course. And they come from all faculties. And we've had numerous science students coming in through there.
Perfect, thank you. And then we have another question. Is there only one pitch competition every term?
Yes. So we have, as part of the course 2030 and 2020, there is a pitch competition so that it's part of our experiential learning part. So there would be one pitch competition with that, but you're going to be hearing a little bit more about some of the other things that we're doing that kind of add into that. And that includes business plan competitions and opportunities. We won't talk about them as much today, but opportunities from other institutions and everything that you can partake in.
All right, so if Josh or Deborah or Lindsay can let me know that if you see driving entrepreneurial awareness on the screen. Great. Okay, here's what we've been waiting for, guys. How you can win some awesome prize money and have fun while you do it. So all of these things that I'm going to mention can be virtual or in person, obviously depending on certain factors, mainly COVID. So let's just dive in right now. So a lot of these competitions, they help build your entrepreneurial muscle. So what is that? So what it means is practice makes perfect, pretty much. Just like in that video where that Christos said, you know, I recommend you practice, 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 because the more practice you have with your pitch and answering questions, this is building a really important muscle that you can use if you do start your own business, or even when it comes to getting a job in the industry as well. Like I mentioned, we have a chance to win substantial cash prizes, and I'll get to that shortly. And another really valuable thing that you might not think about right away, because prize money is awesome, is that in these pitch competitions and business plan competitions, when it's the Q&A portion, we actually have industry experts who are asking you questions and then giving you feedback. So, you know, we don't have anyone like Kevin O'Leary who's up there to make you cry. Our judges genuinely are going to ask questions to make you maybe think about something you hadn't. They might say, well, why is your target market so big? Have you thought about maybe narrowing your view a little bit more? And some people actually, you know, when you get further and older, have to pay for this type of advice. But in all our competitions, this really valuable feedback is totally free. So our three main business plan competitions, we have one at the graduate level, and that is open to MBA, Masters of Science graduate students across the globe and especially North America. And we give away over $60,000 in prize money. The undergrad edition, which is probably what you guys would most be interested in, is open to all post-secondary students in Manitoba. And we have over $15,000 to be won at this competition. And then we have a high school competition, which is for all high school students in Manitoba, where we also have some awesome prizes and money. And next, I'm going to show you a video about one of our competitions. This is the graduate level competition, but if we do have the undergrad competition in person, it has a very similar feeling. So just take a look about an exciting in-person business plan competition, and we'll go from there.
We are hosting the Stu Clark Investment Competition. This is a magical opportunity for MBA students, graduate students, to be able to present their business plans in front of a super panel of judges, including Stu Clark himself.
Really excited to be here. The University of Manitoba has been great hosts so far. We had some really great feedback from the judges. They asked us tough questions. I think we were able to answer most of them. But the best part was the feedback. We got to sit down with the judges for 15 minutes and they gave us feedback on our business plan and our presentation.
We gave our pitch. We got some heat from the man, Mr. Clark himself, but overall it's been a wonderful experience. The judges, they ask very good questions, so they're obviously very knowledgeable in all the potential fields. I mean, we had judges from medtech, from industry, from news, and I think that was a wonderful experience to get attacked from all different angles and just see really what people are thinking about when you tell them about your business.
It's been a great environment to be in. Never did a logo comp before, so that was a great experience last night. Lots of fun.
You know, it's a phenomenal event to meet other entrepreneurs, the support, being able to figure out where we're at versus everybody else and how we can help each other, right? Entrepreneurship is a community and the community around here is so strong.
You know, nobody is here to try to throw grenades. Everybody's here to help you improve your business idea and your business plan.
This has been a very fun experience in terms of presenting and just being able to bounce ideas off of all the other teams here.
I think for me personally, it's understanding our business a whole lot more, understanding the type of questions they want to be able to ask, so having a 5-10 year plan that's out there, and then understanding how do you make that investment capital return for the investment.
If you want to be an entrepreneur, get involved in the community, get involved in environments, competitions like this. If you have an idea, just throw your hat out there and see if you can get in. And also network, share your ideas, because that's how you find business partners.
At the Stu Clark Investment Competition, you can really expect a ton of inspirational innovators and sort of judges that are willing to critique you. But, you know, if you never get that critique, you're never going to improve. And so I think that's very important for pushing all these projects forward.
We get a good quality of contestant every year, and we get different universities all over North America with very, very bright people. And anybody that's starting in commerce should spend an afternoon and come down here and listen to these people present, because it's very inspiring. And if you have any thought of starting your own business, it's a great introduction to what that's all about.
Great people, great ideas, great plans, and so happy to be a part of the competition and excited to continue to grow our idea.
Very valuable time.
We learned a lot while we were here.
It's great, it's fun, it's impactful.
You can expect tough judges and great relationships.
Be prepared to learn and knock it out of the park if you can.
All right, so that shows you what a business plan in person would look like. Super fun, lots of learning. You're going to meet a lot of people. But now what we do currently in this current environment, we've actually hosted a couple virtual competitions. And a couple of them, one has been our recent Learn from Home competition. So all of these events are just a way to keep connected with you guys, the students. And of course, we always give prize money. So in our most recent one, which was the Learn from Home competition, we actually gave away 5 prizes of $500. And that money actually has no strings attached. We just want to help you guys during this time. And we saw a lot of awesome Learn from Home setups. And just check our Instagram over the next couple of months, because we'll actually be sharing the tips that students applied with this competition for. So lots of interesting things coming. We did a Stu Clark Small Business Award where students nominated their favorite business in Manitoba. Stu Clark named that business competition and designed that logo. So all of these competitions, sometimes we have them monthly. Just keep an eye on our social media for them, and as well on our website. That's all the information is also there too. So one event that we will be having eventually, and you can hold us to that promise, is a Stu Clark startup crawl. So pretty much think of this as like field trip of a lifetime. This event is totally free for all students. So there'll be a sign up whenever we get to pick this date. And what we do is we actually take you across Winnipeg and we take you to various companies and various startups around Winnipeg, and you get to visit places like Bold Commerce, Skip the Dishes, Browse by G, and you can actually ask all of these entrepreneurs questions, and then we'll end the night with a little networking reception. So this is a really awesome event. So keep an eye peeled to when it could be happening, and let's hope it's sooner than later. And now I am going to hand it off to Josh, who's going to talk a little bit more about his area.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. First of all, I'll just start by saying I'm loving how active the chat is and all the questions. So keep the questions coming. Any questions, pop them in the chat and we'll get to them, if not through the text or at the end. So keep that up. I'm Josh and I'm the venture coach of the Stu Clark Centre for Entrepreneurship. Essentially, you know, a common thing that we say at the Stu Clark Centre is that the world needs more entrepreneurs now more than ever. And the Venture Coach program is designed specifically to help with that. The Venture Coach program is a free service for all students. And the beauty of it is, like Deborah mentioned, you don't have to be a business student in order to book an appointment with the Venture Coach. You can be anywhere in the university, any faculty, and at any stage of your startup. So we really lead you into that startup land to help coach you and advise you on what steps to take and how to go about launching your venture. So currently right now, I meet with students on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And because of COVID, we've been operating all virtually and online and through Zoom. So we definitely still have lots of opportunities for one-on-one right now in this Zoom environment. So what is the Venture Coach? Essentially what we do is we meet one-on-one and we provide feedback and coaching in idea vetting, feasibility studies, financial modeling, capital raising, structuring, research, and everything, you name it. And here's the best part about it. You don't need an idea to come and meet with me. Whether you just want to talk shop about entrepreneurship, learn more about what entrepreneurship is, how to be an entrepreneur, how to come up with an idea, come meet with me. You don't have to have an idea. And that's the beauty of it. And again, it's free. So in order to book that meeting, you want to visit our website at umanitoba.ca/entrepreneur. And on the left-hand side of the page, you'll be able to see a tab there that has the Venture Coach program, and it'll walk you through the steps there. Now, before we move on, I just want to share with you a quick testimonial from Mateus, who is a student in the recreational management faculty, about his experience working with the Venture Coach.
Hey everyone, my name is Matias Bueno and I'm a fourth year recreation management student at the University of Manitoba. Josh, the Venture Coach, is an excellent resource for anyone who has questions about entrepreneurship, has a business idea, or has questions about what he does as an entrepreneur. He's a great resource for any student in the entire university, not just for Aspera students, and I really found him helpful and personable when I had questions about business ideas that were in my head or anything else that was related to competitions that the faculty puts on for students across campus. Josh is the best resource that you could possibly use if you want to learn more about entrepreneurship or have any business ideas, so make sure to check him out.
Perfect, thank you. So one other thing that we're doing as well to help engage with the student community and to provide that much more of a learning opportunity for all of you is we're doing a virtual webinar series. So beginning September 16th, we're going to start with the topic of no idea, no problem, talking about entrepreneurship and how to be an entrepreneur without an idea, and essentially the concept of, you know what, you don't need to reinvent the wheel or have this amazing big idea in order to be a successful entrepreneur. So don't miss out on the opportunity to watch these webinars. We will be recording them as well and putting them on our website if you can't access them or view in live when we do them. However, continue to follow our Instagram page and our website in order to learn more about them. To register for the webinars, you can do so through our website, which there's a tab on the side that explains all the information as well, umanitoba.ca/entrepreneur, and all the information's on there. I look forward to hopefully meeting with a bunch of you with your ideas, but don't forget, you don't need an idea to meet with me. No idea or concept is too big or too small, and it doesn't matter where you're from in the university. So I look forward to that. And with that being said, I'm going to pass things back over to Deborah.
Thank you, Josh. So the final pillar that we talked about was creating a community connection. So there are many things. Some of you will never start a business of your own. Some of you have already started a business. No matter where you are on that journey, we're here to help you. But we can't do everything for you within the university setting. What we can do for you is ensure when when you've evolved past what we can do for you, that we're hooking you up with the correct people within the entrepreneurial ecosystem. You won't remember all of these names going forward, but there is a whole community out there that provides everything from mentoring support to financial support. And it's sometimes just a matter of trying to find out where you can hook into. That's where you come back to us, and we try and connect you up with those critical players. There are also a number of organizations that support student entrepreneurs with finances, with mentoring and connections. And again, those come to you through places like North Forge, Futurepreneur, World Trade Center, Women's Enterprise Center, MyTax, and more. So just, if we can leave you with anything, if you have any questions at all, please just reach out to us, and we're here to answer them. There is no, as Josh indicated, there's no idea too big or too small. There are no questions too small. We know that in this journey, that often we get stopped by tiny little barriers that we can't get past, and we just need somebody to help walk us through that barrier. That's what we're here to do, and we love it when students come and ask us questions about this. All right, so what do we have? Oh, any questions? And I know that there have been a lot of questions in the chat room. Amy, I think, or Lindsay, you've been answering some of them. I have too, but why don't we just go through and you know, just even if we've answered them in chat, why don't we just, I'll turn it over to you, and you can start kind of focusing on some of those questions.
For sure. Thank you, Deborah. And thanks for all the questions and comments in the chat. I love that you guys picked up on our Shark Tank vibes, because that's totally what we're going for. But like Deborah said, nicer. So we have a question here. What is the difference between ENTR 2010 and ENTR 2020 or 2030? So maybe, Deborah, would you like to clarify?
Yeah. Thank you. So essentially, they're the same course, but 2030 is the mandatory course for Commerce as for students. 2020 is the course that if you're from any other faculty, you can sign up for that course. I think there was also a question of, is it available in the summer? All of these courses are available in the summer. And what happens with 2020 and 2030, you go through the identical curriculum. You'll talk about what is an idea, what does an entrepreneur look like, what are the skill sets that you need, and then you will hit a point about midway through that course where there's this pitch competition where the professors take the students from 2020 and the students from 2030, and they mix you all up so that you're in a team with students from business and science and engineering and ag, and we try and mix you up, because that's what happens when you go out into the world and you're working in teams of people. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. So this gives you a great opportunity to be able to experience what it's like to be with students from other faculties and have to work together to do a pitch together. It's a lot of fun, and we've heard students come back saying, wow, we just made friends that we're going to be friends with for a long time, and we never would have met them had we not done this pitch competition together. So it is very interactive. There are simulations within this course, so it's not just sitting in a virtual classroom you're listening to a professor. You're actually in there, you're working together. somebody asked is, you know, how much is group work versus individual work? In this particular case, it's probably going to be 50-50, but you're going to start out by doing more individual work, and then they're gonna start getting you to work together more and more in a nice way, so that you don't all of a sudden feel thrown into something, but you feel like you're part of a team.
Awesome. Thank you, Deborah. There's another question here. Do we need to be registered in 2020 or 2030 in order to be in a pitch competition? So Amy, maybe you want to speak to that one.
Okay, so you, in order to participate in the ENTR pitch competition, yes. But if you want to participate in our business plan competitions, the answer is no. You don't have to be part of that class to participate in those. So it is a separate thing. So the answer is, if you want to be in our business plan competition, you do not have to be in our ENTR class for that.
And can I just also add that there are other opportunities for pitch competitions that aren't necessarily hosted by the Stu Clark Centre. They could be hosted by one of the other post-secondary universities. And we can help you if you want to get that practice and you really thrive on public speaking. We can help you get connected to those.
Perfect. Thanks, Deborah. And I have a question here. How do we get started? I'm assuming that is to, maybe that's about an idea that you want to get started, and then that maybe I'll give over to Josh to talk about.
Absolutely. So best way to get started if you're looking to have a conversation about entrepreneurship or about your idea is to book an appointment with me. The best way to do that is to visit our website, which you can see on the screen, umanitoba.ca/entrepreneur. And there's a tab on the left-hand side when you go to our page called the Venture Coach Program. And there's a step-by-step guide there on how to book an appointment with me. So that would be how I would recommend best way to get started. If you think that you're too early for a meeting, which I guarantee you're not, as we said, any stage, book a meeting. But also feel free to tune into our webinar series here coming up, which will also be a good way to get started in terms of some information about entrepreneurship.
Perfect. Thanks, Josh. We have a question here. Approximately how many teams register for every competition? Amy, do you think you can answer that one?
Yeah, that's a good question. It depends how many teams register, but the answer that maybe you're looking for is how many teams do we allow in? We always get more teams than we can actually fit into the competition. So roughly about 12 to 16 teams will be picked for the business plan competition. And if we're talking about a pitch competition, because those are shorter, those could be anywhere from, let's say, 30 to 60 or maybe even 90 participants. So about, yeah.
And we have another person who is talking about his idea in the chat, and I'm gonna maybe mention that it sounds like you need to book a meeting with Josh ASAP because you have some neat ideas. Josh, maybe you want to message him independently and set something up.
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
Absolutely.
We also have another question. If you struggle immensely with public speaking, is there anywhere to get some help? And somebody's mentioning Toastmasters. I'm not sure. Deborah, would you like to take that one?
I do. That's why I put my hand up. First of all, everybody struggles with public speaking, and until you feel really comfortable with it, you will feel that way for a long time. So you're in good company. Every one of us here right now, we all take a deep breath before we go into any situation where there could be public speaking. So you are not alone. I want to tell you that. And Toastmasters, yes, is great. When we talk about what we're doing, we actually provide the opportunity for public speaking, because sometimes the best way is just to jump in and get going on it. So I'm not sure if there are any other opportunities around the university where they would assist with that type of thing, but Toastmasters is a great example. And also just getting in there and doing it every chance you can, including you know, putting your hand up on a Zoom platform when your professor is asking for volunteers to talk.
Awesome. And then we have another question here. What is the last business pitch idea that won in a competition and actually became a successful business product?
I can answer that.
Absolutely. Take it away, Amy.
Okay, so I guess I'll give you two examples. One at the graduate level. So, you know, when bridges are built, they're not built to last forever. And this team was from University of Victoria, and he designed software that identified cracks in bridges and infrastructure that helped you be able to repair it before the bridge falls apart and people get hurt. So we actually keep getting emails from him, and he updates us on his business. His name has changed since he participated in the competition, but he's met with government, and he's actually making a lot of progress in British Columbia. Another example, this one actually started at our high school level, and it's called Beyond VR, which actually is an app that helps with public speaking. So it's a couple students from St. Paul's High School, and they designed virtual reality app where you put on the goggles and it actually helps you practice public speaking. So it might give you a script to read, and then it'll tell you what you need to improve on. And actually, because this student was in high school and he graduated, he was still working on it when he came to Asper. He signed up to join to Asper, and he was able to participate in our undergrad competition with the same idea because they were still working on it. So, and it's still up and going. So Beyond VR is another more techie AI VR sort of business that was in our competition as well.
Perfect. Those are two great ones. Is there any other questions that you guys have or that we missed at all? I'm kind of scanning the chat box, but I believe Deborah spoke to most of the earlier ones about some of the
Somebody asked about the funding. So all of these, Amy talked about some pretty big bucks in terms of for competition winners. We do, like, usually there's 4 prize levels in each one of the competitions, and it varies by competition. So more dollars are kind of handed out at the graduate level. It's actually funded through the Stu Clark Centre. We create these buckets of money to ensure that we can create some excitement around all of these competitions. And the really cool thing is you can use it if your team comes in and there's 4 of you and you win 20,000, you each get 5,000, or you can use it to build your business and take that forward. You would also use it for tuition. So it's really a neat opportunity for you to be able to participate in really building some cool skill sets at the same time as maybe finding a way to fund your next year's tuition or start your business.
Perfect. Any other questions? You can toss them in the chat now. One other reminder, I guess, is to book a meeting with Josh. You go on our website, which is on the screen there. Maybe take a screenshot or a photo with your phone. We'd love to have you guys follow us on social media. Like Amy mentioned, we have social media contests going constantly to win money. So if you guys like money, stay.
Yeah, and I'll just add on to that. What we did was, we hadn't done this before, but with so many students and challenges for part-time jobs and trying to make some money towards their tuition, we said, why don't we start a couple of contests that could create some excitement and awareness for us? And so, Amy referenced a couple of them. The last one we did was learn from home, work from home, because much like an entrepreneur who often has to work by themselves from home or in a very small office, you have to learn some really cool skill sets in order to be disciplined and make sure that you're treating your learning respectfully. So we reached out to students from all faculties and said, share not only some pictures, but share some great ideas or your tips on how working from home could be better for you and easier for you. So we had some great stuff. Please check it out. I think we're on social media with that, and we're just kind of rolling out with some of our winners. Two of them one came from health sciences, two from Asper, one from the arts faculty, and one from the School of Arts, and with great tips. And then we had, including our VR, Beyond VR guy, who submitted something with all of his Beyond VR stuff in it. Anyway, check it out.
Perfect. Any other comments there, Deborah?
What's the best type of business to try and start? And the short answer is anything you're passionate about. Because we actually take you through this incredible process. Well, I shouldn't say we, it's Josh, because he's the brilliant venture coach. And so what happens is Josh will take you through a process that will help you understand if your great idea that you're passionate about will actually sell to an audience. And we call that, is it valid? And so we take you through a process that helps you understand whether that business will actually have customers to sell to. So don't discount anything, any great idea. If you think it's great, chances are somebody else is going to too. And then we run it through this process that helps you understand, can it be brought to a commercialization process? We need the ideas first though. If you don't have those great ideas, you don't have a business.
And how are you reaching out to other faculties? Which platform? So I think, is that in regards to our social media or just our general communications? I don't know who wants to try and answer that one.
I can answer it. So we do it in a various, depending on what we want to get across. If it's a virtual competition, we use social media. There is an email database that I have, and I just tossed in the chat. If you want to be added to the email list that I send out updates about these competitions, send an email, send me your email to my email, which is in the chat, or it's amy.jones@umanitoba.ca. We also send it to sometimes the dean of that faculty to distribute to their list, and other student groups as well. So it really depends on what competition and what event we're trying to promote, and we kind of disperse it as needed, but especially on our social media as well.
Perfect. Thank you. We have another question. Do you think it's a good idea to start a business through social media? I know a lot of small businesses promote through TikTok and Instagram, but do you think that there's a better way to start? Josh, do you want to try answering that one?
Yeah, that's a big question in terms of how to go about it. And I think the simplest answer is it depends on what kind of business you're starting. That being said, I don't want to take up too much of the time today specifically to talk about that. So I think best to book in a meeting with me and we can talk about more specific ways of how to grow and build a business and raise awareness. Definitely social media is a strong tool in today's environment, and you can leverage it if you use it properly in order to really help build a successful, scalable business. But yes, there is a lot of other ways as well. So I'm happy to chat with you more in depth about that as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Josh. Okay. I think that's all of our questions for right now. I'll pass it back over to you, Deborah.
Great. Well, we want to say thank you very much for participating with us today. We're really excited to be able to get in front of you and tell us what we do. If you walk away with nothing, please just remember that we're here. And if you wake up 3 years down the road from now and say, wow, I have an idea. Who was that again we should be talking to? Just reach out to us. We'll hook you up with the right people, and we will ensure that you have what you need. Please remember, we're here as a resource. We believe fundamentally that entrepreneurship is going to be a way of the future, that many of you will hit your careers and find out that you need to, or you want to start your own business. or you just may want to do a side hustle and have some money on the side in addition to whatever you're doing. Remember, we're here for you. Doesn't matter if you graduate, come back and see us, because we're happy to see anybody. And thank you for your time today. We're really thrilled to be able to be here and have a chance to talk to you about something that we're so very passionate about. Right.
Thanks for coming, guys.
I guess that's it.
That's
Thanks,
it.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye now.